Hello, dear one. Welcome to Turn a Stone Tarot. Today's reading is a quick and simple reading about your past, present, and future. You can use this reading one of two ways. You can use it as a general reading for your life overall, or you can apply this reading to a particular situation or area of your life. A reminder that this reading represents the potentials that are available to you now. It is not set in stone, so if something comes through the reading that you see and you would prefer to change, you are always welcome to use your free will to make new choices and choose new directions and choose a new path. This is simply a reflection of whatever potentials are available to you given your current vibration at the time that you're coming across this reading. I will draw 3 cards from whichever pile you choose, plus a rune for each of the placements. And then finally, there will be a surprise card or rune depending on whatever your reading calls forth. So please select whichever pile you feel most drawn to. If you're particularly stuck, you can always use a random number generator to choose the number of the pile that you go with. Pile 1 is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Pile 2 is the Work Your Light Oracle cards. And pile 3 is the Wildwood Tarot deck. Timestamps are below. Please feel free to click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you in your group. Hello, pile 1. You chose the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. This is the card and the rune that came out for you in the past position. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse and the rune of Berkana. And what I'm getting from this combination, I'm getting a strong sense of childhood with this combination here. I'm getting a family life that was upside down. Perhaps you had an unstable home situation. I'm getting that you had to rely on irresponsible others. With the hangman here being in this position where the figure can't really do anything about the position they find themselves in. I get the sense of childhood where we're perhaps at the mercy of our parents. It could, of course, apply to some other situation as well. This reading is going out to many people, so take whatever resonates for you. But to me, this strongly suggests a family life, a home life. There were perhaps people that overspent or didn't maintain a reliable lifestyle. Maybe you had a parent or a caregiver who didn't work, who didn't pay their bills regularly or on time. Maybe your caregivers didn't spend enough time with you. There's just a sense of making poor decisions, not being responsible and reliable, and you were kind of at the mercy of this situation. This is showing up in the past for you. The Berkana is a rune of mother and home and family and even shelter. So you may have had unstable housing. It really shows a period of instability that you have faced in the past. So let's move ahead to your present situation here. So the card that I pulled for you was the Two of Cups in reverse. And then we've got the rune of Ansus, and Ansus came out in reverse. So with the Two of Cups in reverse, this is pointing to a breakup, perhaps in a relationship, or a friendship even. There's some disharmony that is perhaps going on. If you're asking about a business context, this could be some distrust between business partners or coworkers, or distrust between an employer and an employee. There's some kind of partnership here that has gone awry. And then with Ansus being in the reversed position, this is the rune in this position is telling of misunderstandings, manipulation even, trickery. So I'm getting that you may currently be in, or very recently have been in, a situation where there's been some misunderstanding, some deceit even, and it's led to feelings of distrust. And then when I see these two cards together, the Hanged Man in the past position and the Two of Cups in reverse, For me, the Two of Cups is a card of mirroring. So I almost want to say that this current situation that has caused disharmony for you is perhaps a mirror of a childhood circumstance or a circumstance that you've had in your past where you weren't able to trust others. They didn't reliably meet your needs. Maybe perhaps now you're finding yourself in another situation where you feel perhaps just as mistrustful as you did back then. So I am sorry to hear that. That sounds like an unpleasant situation if that applies to you. And then for your future situation, I got the King of Cups in reverse and the Wunjo rune. And you'll be very happy to see the Wunjo rune. It's a very positive rune. So what I am getting from this in your future position is that you're really going to begin focusing on your innermost feelings. I think whatever breakup or disharmony has occurred here is really causing you to go within. With all these cups cards at play, I think that feelings have run very strongly in this situation. You may be feeling some heartbreak over it, and it's really causing you to address your emotional world. So you're going to be gaining control over your emotional well-being by doing this, by focusing on your inner world, on your emotional world, and let this situation be a catalyst for doing that. I think it's very important that your emotions get top billing at this time. And from the King of Cups and the Wunjo rune, I see that this is going to yield very positive results for you. The Wunjo rune is a rune of bliss and joy. It's a rune of peace, of self-worth, of harmony even. So I think you're going to be able to take this situation of disharmony that you may currently find yourself in, and you're going to take these learnings and turn them around so that you can again experience harmony in your life, or maybe even for the first time perhaps, experience harmony, friendship, and family. So do start to pay attention to your emotional balance. I think what has occurred is a reflection of earlier events, and you will begin to look at this more closely and begin to understand it more deeply and begin to give your emotional happiness primary importance in your life, which I think this situation is asking for you to do. So I asked for some additional cards for you as well, just to bolster your past, present, and future reading a little bit. And I'm turning to the Work Your Light Oracle deck for you. And the first card that came out was Inner Temple Devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. So again, it's this reiterating this message of the reverse King of Cups, to tune inward to your feelings, to your heart, to your true desires, and see how maybe some past situations have set you up to act in ways that don't serve your highest good. And then the other card, I actually got two. I only asked for one, but two came out. And the other card that came out for you is the Initiation, Rite of Passage, Crossing the Threshold. So in seeing this card, it is my belief that this breakup that is occurring now, this sort of rift in a relationship or partnership or friendship, this rift is causing you to look back at those earlier circumstances that perhaps set you up for feelings of instability and unreliability and disharmony and distrust. You're going to be taking a deeper look at those. And this is a rite of passage that the universe is asking you to go through at this time and to cross the threshold into that understanding so that you can, like the King of Cups in reverse and the Wunjo rune, come to a place where you're more in tune with your heart and your emotions, and you don't have to live through those unstable relationships any longer, those relationships that foster distrust. You can see the signals and you can begin to foster relationships that are more trusting and more balanced and more emotionally fulfilling. All right, pile one, that is the reading that I have for you today for past, present, and future. I want to thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. I am a new channel, so I would be very grateful if you could like and subscribe. It means a lot to me as a small channel. It helps me to grow, and I appreciate your support. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Hello, Pile 2. You chose the Work Your Light Oracle cards. Let me start by saying this is a very spiritually advanced pile. There are some very awake souls that are tuning in here. You may identify this way. I truly believe the people who are tuning into this pile 2 came here to uplift humanity at this precise moment in history. This was a very strong reading with a lot of high vibration. You may identify as a starseed or a light worker. This is definitely my spiritually advanced pile. And then I wanted to add a note about your bonus card. I drew your bonus card, or rather it flew out before I even started the reading. So your bonus card was coming through loud and clear before I even chose the cards for you. So a strong message coming through at the end here with your bonus card. So let's get into your reading. So the card that came out for you in the past position is Soul Family. And the words on that card are call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And then you received the Tiwaz rune. And the Tiwaz rune means sky god. It can be associated with justice, righteousness, honor, loyalty, the spiritual self. So with this combination, I got a couple of things that are possible for your past. This will apply differently to different people watching, but you may have grown up in a very religious family or a very spiritual family. Perhaps you may have had a happy childhood with some of the joy and the playfulness depicted in this card here. There's a potential that you had a very happy family existence in the past. But the opposite can also be true here with the words call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. It could be that you felt potentially lonely in your family. Perhaps you grew up in a religious environment that felt very restricted or that didn't resonate with the type of spirit that you were. And this may have caused you to feel a little bit lonely. Other things that are coming through on the cards are imaginary friends. Did you perhaps have some imaginary friends growing up, a very active imagination? Perhaps this was a coping mechanism for the kind of environment that you were in. It was a way of dealing with the loneliness you may have experienced. Also, I see here a best friend indicated. So you may have had a very dear best friend that you felt very dearly bonded with, who may have been a very strong support system for you in your past. I'm seeing a strong suggestion of a best friend in this card. Water seems to be significant in this card. Perhaps you live by the ocean or the water. Perhaps you're interested in whales or dolphins or marine mammals somehow. You may also be a water sign. So the water is playing a role here as well in the past position. Let's move on to your present. So the card that I got for you for the present is Awakening, Energetic Upgrades, A New Way of Being, Integration. And the rune that came out for you is Sawillow. And Sawillow is associated with the sun and wholeness, awareness, self-knowledge. It's seeking change to heal. It can also be the rune of completion and success. So by this combination, I see that you are changing and moving into a higher vibration at this present time. You may be harvesting the results of some emotional and psychological integration. You may be rejoining the self, reuniting with lost aspects of the self. Perhaps you have engaged in soul retrieval, gone through a soul retrieval process that is bringing you into a better state of wholeness. You may have done some inner child work, healing the inner child. And I see that you're making good progress with this, as indicated by the awakening card. For your future position, I got the Pleiades card for you, and the words on that are double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And then with that came the Hagalas rune. And the Hagalas rune is a rune of disruption and radical change, crisis, surrender, and acceptance. So with this, I really am getting a very strong feeling that you are among the souls bringing in the new earth at this time. You may be engaged in meditation or energy healing or some kind of spiritual modality that perhaps you share with other people on the planet, other souls on the planet. It's a very advanced kind of work, and this is a very advanced reading, so I am not surprised in the least. But you're definitely here to help humanity and to be one of the disruptors, perhaps, as it were, of the old order of things. You're here to bring about an uplifting change to the world and really lend your gifts to the world at this time. So the bonus card that came out for you is, let me just move these for a second here, make sure I get it in for you. It is the Leaves card that came just literally flying out for you. And there's a lot of flying going on in this card. I don't know if you're noticing all of the flying happening here in the Awakening card, the Pleiades, and then we have these flying insects on the Leaves card. And even the leaves themselves, as they fall from the trees, they kind of fly through the air. So I don't know if you have an association with flying, or you may even be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This is a very airy reading coming through here. So again, there's also this sense of ascending as well, flying upward, flying through the air, flying closer, to source, as it were, closer to spirit. I'm also seeing here the sacred circle depicted on the Leaves card. So you may be engaged in sacred work, whether that's energy healing or some kind of religious or spiritual practice. Also, even the leaves on this card have holes in them. So I'm hearing the word holy, holy, holy. You may have these holy practices, these sacred practices that you do to keep your energy high and keep yourself engaged in the work that you are meant to do here on Earth. Spirit is coming through at this time to thank you for being one of the star seeds and the light workers on planet Earth. They acknowledge that this is a challenging time to be in this position, but it is also precisely why you came. And they want to commend you on this awakening that you have been engaged in and the progress that you have made on your spiritual journey. You're exactly where you need to be. And they commend you for your intentions to uplift humanity. It is noble work, and they wish to support you in doing this noble work. So thank you very much on behalf of Spirit. All right, pile 2. That is the reading that I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I do appreciate your time and attention. I would be grateful if you could like and subscribe. I am a new channel here on YouTube. I'm just getting started. So every like and every subscribe is very meaningful, and I would appreciate it very much. If this reading resonated for you, I would love to hear about it. Please feel free to post in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you in a future reading. Thank you so much. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Wildwood Tarot. And today's reading, we're going to look at your past, present, and future. So immediately, this is the card that came out for your past and the rune that came out. We have the King of Bows, Adder, and the Rado rune. So the King of Bows is the King of Swords in traditional decks, and the Rado rune is a rune of journey, vehicles, rationality, travel, movement, adventure, and control. So when I look at this combination together, I'm getting a sense of your path being blocked or impeded in some way. The situation that immediately leapt to mind was something to do with the government, perhaps. For example, maybe you applied for a visa and your visa application was denied or slow. This combination suggests government red tape, government complication, a complication with some kind of government or legal process, perhaps. I'm also getting the sense that you may have felt threatened by someone in a leadership position or someone in authority with this combination here. I feel that you in the past have faced a harsh decision that was not in your favor. So again, back to that example of a visa application being denied, some kind of denial of some kind that was not what you wanted to happen. So that is your past. Let's look at the present now. The cards that came out for you in the present position are the Eight of Arrows, and the word on that is struggle, and the Five of Arrows here, which is frustration with that. And then something very interesting happened when I pulled your rune. You received the Ingwaz rune here. And when the Ingwaz rune came out, it absolutely 100% came with this tiny little string. It was very much attached. So when I see that, I think there was something with strings attached, or you're in a situation where you feel that strings are attached somehow. That string attached seemed to be very important to your reading. So that applies to someone out there. So as you can see, these cards are pretty self-evident. It looks like you are going through a difficult time at the moment with the word struggle and frustration. It almost doesn't even need explanation. The Ingwaz rune is suggesting that this is, however, the seed time, a time of creation, a time for gestation and fertility. It is ultimately a time for self. It may not feel like it at the moment, but I think things will change and you will see it as a time for self. It can also represent movement without change. So again, it's this sense of spinning your wheels. Perhaps you feel as though you're not really making any progress right now. With all the arrows that are pictured on these cards, I'm getting the sense that you have criticisms coming at you. I heard social media backlash, so maybe someone in this group is having some issues with criticisms on social media. It certainly does suggest negative opinions of others. Maybe a masculine of a high rank with this King of Bows card here. Maybe this individual had a negative opinion of you. I can see by the figure on the Eight of Arrows card with the lantern, you are doing your best to sort of shine your light and persevere through this situation, but it is not easy. This is difficulty after difficulty here with this card combination. I should mention too, I really just wanted one card, but the tarot cards insisted on coming out together. So I may have promised you one card each in the beginning, but the cards had another plan. So these cards wanted to come out together. There's a lot of coldness and sharpness that's prominent between these two cards. But I would like to point out, as a note of hope, the arrows here are not actually piercing the sheep that is in the bottom card, and they're on the ground in the top card. So there's no actual piercing or lasting damage being done here. You may feel, that may not be easy to hear depending on your situation, but it seems as though whatever is occurring is not going to be permanently detrimental. It seems that this is a temporary season, if you were, all of this coldness and sharpness and negativity that you may be experiencing. And then for your future position, you receive the World Tree, which is, of course, the world in traditional decks. And then you received the Awaz rune. The Awaz rune is the U tree. It represents stability, endurance, initiation. When I hear that, I think that what you're going through now, although it may not feel like it, is a process of initiation, perhaps, that will help to get you to a stronger position. The Awaz rune also represents the process of becoming, its perseverance, and its liberation. So there will be liberation to come. It is very possible. You may feel stuck at this time, but I am being reassured that the season will change for you. You may be looking for home. When I see the small door in the World Tree, this could be, maybe you're seeking a home in a new country and you're getting blocked by government processes or requirements or what have you. And I think you're beginning to lose hope that you will ever find this new home. But the World Tree would like to assure you that you will indeed find a very stable home in the future. That is possible. And this could also be interpreted internally as well. So if maybe you're feeling a strong inner critic going on at the moment, maybe some of this criticism is beginning to be internal and you're feeling a lot of self-criticism. But you can find a safe refuge within yourself through this process that you're going through. Also, I'm hearing that you will find your way out of the maze. The labyrinth at the bottom of the World Tree is very prominent here. And I'm hearing that you will find your way out of the maze. So whatever government process, administrative process, legal process you're going through, although it feels like it's challenge after challenge after challenge right now, in the future, you will get out of it and you will get to a more peaceful place. I just love how peaceful this image is here of the World Tree. It's a place I think we would all like to visit and perhaps sit under this wise old tree for a few minutes. It looks very inviting indeed. So take heart, my pile threes. I did pull a bonus card for you as well. And the card that came through was the Star Mother card. And the words are, how can you mother yourself? This is a really beautiful card. I think it's inviting you to be very extra nurturing to yourself at this time. From this combination of cards here, I'm seeing that in the past, you've perhaps faced blocks and harsh criticisms, negative opinions, or maybe at the present time, you're still experiencing this. And so it's really vitally important here with this Star Mother card for you to be your own inner advocate, for you to be kind to yourself. You may be living in an environment or with a situation that is not being kind to you. So the Star Mother is asking for you to be kind to yourself, to be kind with your thoughts, to be kind with the words that you say to yourself, to be kind in your actions to yourself, to really take extra care of yourself at this time. It's really important that you nurture yourself because you may be in a period where you're not getting it from the outside world and it needs to come from within right now. And that will help you with this shift into a more peaceful situation for yourself by doing this self-nurturing. I'm also particularly drawn to the flowers in this card. So I know it's a bit of a cliche, but you may be able to buy yourself flowers, maybe cheer up your environment with flowers somehow. Sometimes even just looking up flowers online and looking at pictures of beautiful flowers can help to sort of lift our spirits and can help be nurturing in that way. You may want to look into flower essences. Sometimes flower essences can be very supportive for us. So, whatever you can do to mother yourself at this time is really going to be vital in helping you move out of this current cycle of struggle and frustration into a more peaceful and flowing state, and a state of completing whatever it is that you are wanting to accomplish here in this process. So, pile 3, that is the reading that came forth for you today. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you liked this reading, please feel free to like and subscribe. If it resonated with you, I'd be grateful if you could comment down below and let me know. That's always very helpful feedback to hear. I thank you again for joining me. I wish you all the best with your endeavors, and I will see you next time.